Keefe D's jailhouse assault case has now been severed based on the high-profile nature of him being dubbed Tupac's killer. And so the judge ruled that it might prejudice the other defendant. This is interesting. Let's get into some of this straight game.
Blackjack. Life is like cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. Play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy DELRAY, Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Do me a favor, click on the thumbs up button. Also, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And like I always say, if you want to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of this straight game, please do me a favor and click on what appears to be that little bell notification. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into it. As many of you may know, or some of you may not know, Keefe D was involved in a jailhouse brawl, like I said, a month or two back. And the case went up for an arraignment the other day, and there was a motion filed by Mr. Hamilton, the other gentleman that Keefe D was in the fight with. And the judge basically granted the motion to sever Mr. Hamilton's case from Keefe D's case. And it's interesting because the judge is basically saying, based on Keefe D's high-profile nature and him being dubbed Tupac's killer, and he hasn't been convicted of it yet, that would bring prejudice to the guy by the last name Hamilton. And the reason why that is because it could be looked at from the jury that the guy Hamilton went after Keefe D because he was some sort of fan of Tupac. It could be, the optics of it could appear that way. And so basically the judge agreed with the motion and cited that, hey, you know what? It would be better off if instead of charging them or residing over the case with them together, it would be better if they had separate trials. So Keefe D, I would say, I don't know if it's a break for Keefe D. I wouldn't say it was a break. I mean, it could work both ways. Citing public attention, a judge ruled Tuesday that she would separate the battery cases of the man alleged to have orchestrated hip-hop icon Tupac Shakur's killing and another inmate. Rashawn Hamilton, 53, and Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, 61, were indicted in February on counts of battery by a prisoner and challenging someone to a fight. Both are accused of striking each other during a December 23rd altercation at the Clark County Detention Center. Both also face murder charges. Interesting, right? Hamilton has been accused of stabbing a homeless man to death in 2023. Prosecutors have alleged that Davis, who was reportedly a member of the Southside Crips, organized the shooting death of Shakur near the Las Vegas Strip in 1996 in retaliation for a fight involving Shakur and his nephew. The district judge, Nadia Kroll, said Davis's notoriety was an issue in the case and noted that the media, they were present in the court because of him. So the media attention that Keefe D's been getting based on the high-profile nature of the case involving Tupac. Basically, the judge said, here the public has dubbed Mr. Davis Tupac's killer, even though he hasn't actually been convicted yet, said Kroll, who granted a motion by Hamilton's public defender, Erica Webb, to sever the cases, basically. The judge ruled that Davis' high profile meant spillover prejudice for Hamilton. So that's basically, Keefe D's high profile nature and it being Tupac. They basically said, the judge said it could have spillover prejudice as far as the jury is concerned, and maybe looking at as if the guy Hamilton was the aggressor based on the fact that he didn't like Keefe D because he killed Tupac. It could be a number of assumptions in regards to that, and the judge, to avoid any of that, she basically said, you know what, I'm going to sever the cases, and so each person can be tried individually on their own, right? The chief deputy district attorney, Mark DiGiacomo, suggested that Davis's notoriety could benefit Hamilton. They believe he's Tupac's killer. The jury, then they believe he's the initial aggressor. He said. Crawl disagreed. Now that could be, it could be argued both ways, right? In one hand, it could be that, the guy Hamilton was the aggressor against Keefe D. On the other hand, it could be that Keefe D was the aggressor towards him because Keefe D is dubbed, Tupac's killer, or the guy had something to do with killing Tupac. So, from that perspective. But the judge basically disagreed. She said the logical fallacy of that argument is that it would not be a reliable judgment because you're saying the jury is going to ignore the facts and then therefore acquit Mr. Hamilton because he was attacked by Tupac's killer, she said. In which that is, like I said, it can work both ways. And so she basically is siding with the other way. But more importantly, in separating the cases, I think that's the so that everybody can somewhat get a fair trial. And the judge doesn't have to worry about the case being appealed because of any type of prejudice that may lean either way, right? She added that jurors could also judge the defendants by their association. That's true. Keefe D being associated with a gang, and I don't know about the guy Hamilton from that perspective, what his situation is, but like I said, all of that usually comes up in court when they're presenting the evidence, right? Chief Deputy Public Defender Anna Clark argued earlier in the hearing that the defendants would have defenses agnostic to each other, which is true. DiGiacomo said that there was no legal basis to sever the cases of Davis and Hamilton because whether juries believe Davis or Hamilton acted in self-defense, they would still be deciding which one was the original aggressor. Kroll previously granted a petition to dismiss the challenge to a fight charge for Hamilton, according to court records, right? Davis' battery trial is scheduled to start April 8th. Hamilton's is set for October 27th. So not only is Keefe D in jail for the alleged participation in the murder of Tupac Shakur, but now he's caught a jailhouse charge in which he's going to trial for on April 8th. You know what I mean? And like she said, the judge said that the media was there to basically cover this situation based on the fact that Keefe D is a high-profile inmate due to his association for allegedly being involved with the murder of Tupac Shakur. I find this very interesting because, normally something like this wouldn't even really get any kind of media attention. But like I said, based on the fact that it has to do with Tupac, it has to do with Keefe D being involved and all of the things that he's admitted involving that situation, this is what we have at this particular time. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. When you watch the video, because they had showed the video in the media. I mean, I don't really know what I think. The guy, it seemed like he was coming after Keefe D for whatever reason, or they wanted to fight or whatever. It looked to me like Keefe D was standing his ground. That's just how it appeared to me. Like I said, but what the court's going to decide, what the jury's going to decide, what the judge is going to decide, once again, as you see how it plays out, when somebody files a motion or something like that, the judge usually basically decides what she thinks is best for the situation, the court, the plaintiff, or the defendant, right? And she felt that it was best that she severed Keefe D case and Mr. Hamilton's case from each other and try them independently. So we're going to see what happens, man. Keefe D, his trial starts basically in, in a couple of days. Yeah, in a couple of days. So Keefe D's going to trial. Before he goes to trial for the alleged involvement in the murder of Tupac Shakur, he's going to trial for this assault charge in approximately 6 days. So like I said, very interesting, man. Very interesting. Your boy DELRAY, y'all chime in and tell me what you think. Your boy DELRAY, straight gang.